guys, welcome to my channel. It is Christian here. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. So today we are doing another installment of Foundation Friday, and today we are going to be testing out the Estee Lauder Double Wear Nude Cushion Stick Foundation. So just really quickly, I know I kind of say this at the beginning of every video, but just in case this is the first video of mine that you are watching or the first Foundation Friday that you are watching, basically Foundation Friday is where I test out a new foundation every single week, every single Friday. I wear it throughout the day. I do check-ins and kind of let you guys know what I'm thinking about the foundation as it wears throughout the day. We tested out half of my face with the beauty blender, half of my face with the brush, and then we kind of see what kind of coverage it gives. Does it clean to dry patches? Does it make you oily? Does it accentuate fine lines? We kind of just test out every category. Does it oxidize? All of that good stuff. So this kind of just started because I am on the hunt to find my perfect foundation. My skin has improved since I began Foundation Friday, but I feel like with the approval of my skin, foundations that used to work really well for me, now I'm kind of having issues finding. My skin used to be just full on dry, like dry, flaky dry, but now it leans a little bit more dry combination, a little bit of more oils around my cheek, but overall, if I had to say, my skin is mostly just dry. I do have acne prone skin, and I do have very, very sensitive skin as well. Things with fragrances in them sometimes can tend to break me out. So there's always that really, really fine line between like finding the right foundation, but also like not pissing my skin off, you know what I mean? Because that can be a struggle. So if you have sensitive skin, combination skin, dry skin, maybe if this is the first time watching one of my videos, you might want to stick around because maybe we can find our holy grail foundation together. So yeah, you guys, if you are new to my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below, you guys. There is a couple of days left on my giveaway that I do have running right now. It's going to end at the end of this week or at the beginning of next week, one of the two. So there's still a little bit of time left, so that subscribe button down below. If you're not new to my channel, you guys, welcome back. Thank you for continuing to join and support. And if you want to see how this Estee Lauder foundation wears throughout the day, then you guys know y'all are in the right place and you are definitely going to want to go ahead and keep on watching. Okay guys, so today we're testing out the Estee Lauder Double Wear Nude Cushion Stick Radiant Makeup. I picked mine up in the shade 2C3 Fresco. This does come in 21 shades and it does retail for $39.50, and I did pick mine up from Sephora. This is what the packaging looks like. And it comes with, oh, okay, so it opens, so you kind of think that it would open from this end, but it actually opens from the smaller end. It has like a little bit of a cushion tip, so I'm assuming, I don't really know how you get the product. I'm not quite sure how the product comes out. Okay, you twist it and then the product comes out of the cushion. So it is not a true stick foundation. It's a liquid foundation that's in a stick packaging, if that makes sense. Okay, so really quickly, I'm going to go ahead and read the claims of what this foundation claims to do, and then we'll go ahead and we will get started with the test. As always, half of the face will be done with a beauty blender, and then the other half will be done with a sponge. Wait, those are the same thing. The other half will be done with a brush. Okay, I've been hearing a lot of really, really good things about this foundation lately. Jamie Page Beauty, Samantha Rondenval has been talking about it. I have seen Brianna Fox use it, and they've all said pretty good things about it, so I'm kind of hopeful about this foundation. So the only thing is I'm starting this a little bit later than I normally do. I'm starting at 12:30 and I usually start filming at probably around 10 or 11, so I'm a little bit behind schedule today. It does say that it is an 8-hour wear liquid makeup and Pro Tool in one, so I will definitely be able to wear this for at least 8 hours. So I will be able to test that claim for sure. It says touch on, buff and blend to your perfect nude. Double Wear Nude Cushion Radiant Stick Makeup polishes an even skin tone for a healthy looking glow. This skin-loving, weightless, and comfortable formula instantly hydrates. It features shades for every skin tone, and the innovative stick combines liquid makeup and an applicator in one. I guess maybe I should try, instead of a beauty blender, try blending it in with the actual applicator. I feel like that would be really unsanitary, but I think it's saying that's what you're supposed to do. Oh, okay, so that's cool. So it says that if you twist up too much makeup, you can twist it back. Oh, and it does. And then it'll suck the product back in. So that is really cool, and I really, really like that. That's a cool little thing, because I know when we pump out foundation, we tend to pump out more than we need. So I like that little, would that be a feature? I don't think that's a feature. We're gonna go with feature. I like that. So I have already washed my face and moisturized, but I have not primed. So I'm gonna go ahead and prime, and then we'll come back on and then we will get the foundation testing happening. So I will be right back, you guys, once I apply my primers. All right, guys, so I did go ahead and apply my primers. I went in with the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Primer. I applied a little bit of the Urban Decay B6, and then I went in with my Bobbi Brown Enriched Face Base. We're gonna go ahead and start testing this guy out. Did I tell you how much actually came in here? It comes with, oh wow, it's only 0.47 fluid ounces. So it comes with less than half of what a standard foundation comes with. So hopefully you don't require very much foundation with this. And I picked up the shade 2C3 Fresco like I mentioned, and I had this in the original Double Wear. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was too dark, so I don't know why I repurchased it, but I ordered it online and I didn't know what to do, so this is what I went with. All I have on the applicator is the one little click that I did as far as, and then it says, let's see, is there a method to the madness on how to apply this? Let's see. It just says buff with circular motions. Okay. Yeah, I already don't like the applicator. It's like, it's stiff. And it's like, it tugs on the skin in a really weird way. So I'm gonna not buff in circular motions. I'm gonna try blending down. Okay, this sucks. I don't like it. So we're gonna switch over to a brush, and I'm gonna do another twist up because that kind of just blended into nothing. And it doesn't say, does it say what kind of coverage you're supposed to get out of this? It doesn't say. So it doesn't specify the coverage level online. Okay, so I'm gonna twist again, and that time more product came out. Okay, so let me just, okay. Kind of smells like paint. That might just be me. That might just be me. But I feel like it smells like paint. So now I'm gonna just buff in circular motions. This is one of my Morphe brushes. I think this is the M433, M439. I don't really think it's looking that radiant, you guys. What do you think? This is definitely more of like a lighter coverage foundation, but to be a radiant foundation, I don't really see any luminosity to the skin. It has a little bit of tackiness to it. So definitely, it's definitely a little bit of a lighter coverage. We are gonna see if we can build it up to a medium, but before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and apply with the Beauty Blender and see. The Beauty Blender will probably give us a little bit more luminosity and a little bit more of radiant finish if I had to guess. So I still have some left over from the last pump, so we're gonna go ahead and just apply that. I really do not like the applicator at all. It just feels very stiff and very hard. Like it's like there's no give to it whenever you're using it on the face. So I'm not a fan of that. So we're gonna go ahead and take the Beauty Blender. I'm gonna apply a little bit more because I definitely applied more on this side than on this side. The Beauty Blender side definitely shears it out a lot more. I'm starting to see a little bit of the luminosity to the skin. So maybe it just needed a second to like warm up with your skin, like the heat of your skin to give it that a little bit more of that glow. But there is so much redness with the Beauty Blender left. The Beauty Blender made it just like a super light coverage, where at least on the brush side, there's still redness peeking through, but it's still a little bit more covered. Whereas on the Beauty Blender side, I feel like it didn't do a lot. Like it slightly evened out the skin tone, but there's definitely a lot more redness, a lot more of my discoloration showing. So brush side, Beauty Blender side. So I'm gonna try to build it up on the Beauty Blender side first. We're gonna see how this layers. So what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna go in with the Beauty Blender on top of the sponge, and then just where there's a ton, see, a lot more comes off than you think it would. And where there was a ton of redness and still a lot of discoloration, I'm gonna go in and try to layer things a little bit nicer. All right, so there we are. So you were not gonna get this foundation to a full coverage. This is more like a light medium. So there we are. So this is one that I would probably definitely spot conceal with. There's still a lot of my redness exposed. It layered nicely though. It did layer nicely, but now I'm gonna go back in on the side where I'll use the brush. I don't like the fact that it twists out so much, but it does suck the product back in. But if you apply too much, it only will suck the product back in that's directly above like the little hole. If it gets out on the edges, it won't suck the product back in. So that's kind of lame. And then it will only twist back so much. So then you're kind of stuck with the extra product. So it's a cool idea that it can suck it back in, but I feel like it spits out too much and only so much will go back in. So you have to be really careful with how much comes out on the applicator, because you definitely don't need all that comes out on the applicator. So the side with the brush has definitely had time to like dry down a little bit more. So we're gonna see how that layers. And I am gonna put a little extra right here because I do have a lot of discoloration on my forehead. Nope, blends in seamlessly with the second layer, even after it's dried down a little bit, so that's good. You definitely get more coverage with the brush than you do with the Beauty Blender. So I guess it really just depends on how much coverage you're looking for that day. I would definitely apply this I would use a brush for this foundation. I would not use it with the Beauty Blender, I don't think, because even though I'm trying to get better about wearing less coverage, I don't want it to be like sheer. I want it to have a little coverage to it. All right guys, so we're gonna go ahead and leave it there. So I definitely do prefer the side with the brush better than the Beauty Blender, just because the brush applied a little better coverage. But you can definitely see, at first I was kind of like, it doesn't really have any radiance to it, but now you can kind of see it, that it's had time to settle. There is some definite radiance. I can tell you off of the bat, I do not like the way it's settling around my nose. Medium coverage, it has a little bit of tackiness to it. I'm not a fan of the way it smells, to be honest. I don't like the applicator, but it does blend into the skin really easily with a brush and a Beauty Blender. It blends nicely both ways. It's just a matter of which coverage level you would prefer, and maybe what type of skin issues you have, and maybe what you're trying to cover that day, because you can play with the coverage on this one a little bit, but you're not going to get it past a medium coverage. So let me go ahead and show you guys how it's kind of settling. Can you guys see that? How it's kind of settling around the nose? All right guys, it is 1 o'clock. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup off camera, and then I'll come back on and let you guys know what I'm thinking about the foundation once all of my makeup has been applied and once it's had a few minutes to sit on my skin. I don't like what's happening around my nose. All right guys, I will be right back. Hey guys, so I figured that I would check in a little bit of natural daylight. Don't mind my smudgy lipstick. I was eating and it kind of got everywhere, but that's okay. So I just wanted you guys to be able to see how things are looking in natural daylight. I've had the foundation on now probably for about 4 hours, I would say, and I mean, I think it looks pretty good. Like, I don't think it looks bad, so I think I'm not mad at it. So weird, like doing check-ins in your car because people are staring, like they look like, why is this crazy girl talking to a camera in her vehicle? It's a little weird, but I don't know. I think it looks pretty. I think it looks pretty good. I have a little bit of fallout, but I don't know, I think it looks pretty good, you guys. It's holding up pretty nicely. I still don't really see the luminosity to the foundation, you guys. So this is just, you know, real light, no studio lighting, just how it looks naturally on my skin. So hopefully you guys can kind of see the forehead. Let me zoom in a little bit more. But yeah guys, I just wanted to take a second for you guys to see how everything is wearing. Hopefully it's showing up on camera. So yeah, I will check back in with you guys back in my apartment in a few more hours. Hey guys, and I am back. It is 10:32. I sat down and I started filming at about, I think it was 12:30. So we've had this foundation on for what, 10 hours? Is that proper math? Because I'm sleepy and I don't know. I feel like that's right. Okay, between 8 and 10 hours. That's how long we've had this foundation on. But I quickly want to say that the real MVP of this foundation test is these Natasha Denona eyeshadows and this Bite Beauty lipstick. This Bite Beauty multi-stick in cashew, I reapplied this once several hours ago after I ate, and I ate probably at about 3 o'clock and it's 10:30 and this stuff is still on. So that's amazing. These Natasha Denona eyeshadows have not even creased, not even a little bit. That's amazing. But that's not why you guys are here. You guys are here because y'all want to know what my final thoughts on the foundation were. And I'm kind of like, I think I'm a little I think I'm a little underwhelmed by the foundation. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. And the reason why I say that I'm underwhelmed is because YouTubers that I actually really trust and have similar skin types to me or skin issues to me really like this foundation, and I just kind of like I was expecting to be super blown away by that, so I feel like my expectation didn't quite meet reality. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad foundation. I was just a little let down. So really quickly, when I was editing the footage, I noticed that my first check-in was just a little too blurry, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know that it did bronzers, powders, highlights, everything did apply nicely over the foundation. I did go in with liquid bronzer and liquid highlight today, and all of that sat really nicely onto the skin. I feel like nothing has broken up too bad from other than what the complaints I had about the foundation earlier were, which were around my nose. I feel like everywhere else, I feel like it's kind of stayed the same. I don't really think it's gotten any worse since my check-in from about 5 o'clock when I was in my car. I don't think it's changed too much since then. I think for a sheer to medium coverage foundation, I liked if I'm comparing it to the foundation from last week, I liked the Givenchy one more because I felt like it did apply better coverage. I just feel like there's too much redness still peeking through on my skin. It doesn't look bad. I could have gone in a little bit better with spot concealer, but during Foundation Friday, I try not to spot and conceal as best as I can because I want the true wear of the foundation to show. Now, I did have to spot conceal in some areas that were just too red, where it made my skin look discolored. I think that the disadvantages to this foundation, there are two. The first one is the packaging. I don't like it. I'm gonna have to figure out a way around it. I feel like the packaging is very wasteful because I just feel like too much product comes out of this guy, and I said that earlier, so I don't like this. I wish it would have come in a pump. And that's another reason why I don't like the packaging, because I feel like you charge 40 bucks for half the price. If it had come in just a regular pump or even, you know, a squeeze tube, it would have had to be in a full ounce. So labeling it a stick foundation, because we all know stick foundations don't ever really have full ounces. I feel like they got over on us a little bit putting a liquid or cream foundation in packaging like this. So that kind of bothers me. I hate this applicator. Like, I think this applicator is just silly. I don't like it. Like, no, just design flaw. Not here for that. I just think that this ends up being so expensive. So yes, the Givenchy, which is the one that I tried out last week, was $54, but it was $54 for a full ounce. This was 40 bucks for less than half. So it's kind of like, and I feel like I had to use more product with this guy than I did with that one. So my biggest gripe with this product, not even coverage, I don't like the packaging. And sometimes when you don't like the packaging of things, you don't reach for it. Even if the product inside is really good, you're just kind of like, I don't want to deal with the fuss of it. I just don't want to do it. But other than that, I don't think the foundation is bad. Like I said, I wasn't blown away by it. I don't think it's anything extraordinary. I will play with it a little bit more. Tomorrow, like always, I will wear it again. I always say that I'm going to let you guys know how I feel about it the second day that I wear it, but I always forget to put that in my description box. So I will try so hard to remember to write down in my description box how I felt about it, how I feel about it on the second day of wear, because after foundation, I film Foundation Friday, I always wear the foundation the next day just to kind of see if my opinion kind of is holding true from what it was the first day I wore it. So I will try my best to remember to put that in the description box. But I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in really quickly, let you guys see how everything is looking. Again, it looks the same as it did at 5 o'clock. So it hasn't changed. So I will give it that. It definitely does. The 8-hour claim, I will say, is true. Welcome to my face. So here we are a little bit closer up. And you guys, why is my shirt, look, I'm just so disheveled, you guys. Y'all don't even know. So you can kind of see right here where my blemishes are kind of showing through. So if I had spot concealed with a heavier concealer, that probably would have been okay. This is the side with the brush, and then this is the side with the beauty blender. Same thing, you guys can definitely see the breakouts a little bit. So I guess when I get a little bit closer and I'm looking a little bit closer into my monitor, I can see a little bit of radiance or a little bit of oiliness right here on my nose. When I get a little bit closer up, I can see that a little bit better. Sides of my nose, which I was able to kind of finagle, and it doesn't look as bad as it did. It caked up a little bit, but it's not so bad. It's not horrible. Y'all know my smile line struggle right now. I don't even want to get into the smile line struggle. So, and then the tops of my forehead, nothing is settling too badly. Nothing looks too crazy up there. My pores don't look horrible. I feel like there's foundations, like nothing is settling too bad in the pores. A little bit, maybe a little bit, we have some pore settling action, but nothing horrible. There is still visible redness on my skin. I don't mind like the breakouts showing a little bit because that's part of nature, like that is what it is. But I don't like when you can see severe discoloration on my face. See where I have the discoloration on my forehead and like right here where I have a lot of redness and around my nose, places where I'm severely red. I like those parts to be covered up. I don't really care as much about the acne. So I'm kind of like, whatever. I don't love it. I don't hate it. So I need to be wowed, you guys. So far, nothing is wowing me. It was just a little bit of a close up, you guys. So not bad. It holds up well as far as longevity. I didn't really do a whole lot today. I ran a couple of errands and then came home. Hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I was supposed to do a drugstore test this week, you guys. That was my intentions, but to do the drugstore test on the CoverGirl foundation, I will try my very best to do that one next week. I want to do my very best to do drugstore high end. So that's what I'm going to aim for. So next week it'll either be, I'm about to contradict myself a little bit. Next week will either probably be the Tarte Stick Foundation or the CoverGirl Foundation. I'm having a really hard time finding that one. I thought that I ordered it when I placed my last Ulta order and I didn't. Unfortunately, it was in my cart. I don't know what happened. And now it's sold out. So, and it's not available at any of my local Ultas. So I'm gonna try to get that one next week. But if not, I will probably be doing maybe the Tarte one next week. Possibly. I don't even know yet. So, because I don't even have that foundation yet either. So I need to order that one, so I don't know if it'll be here in time for me to film that one next week. But anyways, enough with the ramble. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe down below, you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.